I was working in town one afternoon, attending some business affairs. I heard a commotion a couple streets over, wondered what was happening there. A young man was running from in that direction, and he stopped just to catch his breath. I asked him to please tell me what was the hurry. He smiled up at me and he said, I was trying to catch the crippled man. Did he run past this way? He was rushing home to tell everyone what Jesus did today. And the mute man was telling myself and the deaf girl he's leaving to answer God's call. Well, it's hard to believe, but if you don't trust me, ask the blind man, he saw it all. Ask the blind man, he saw it all. Now, my friend, if the troubles and burdens you carry are heavy and dragging you down, and you've tried everything you can possibly think of, and there's no relief to be found, well, that very same Jesus who altered the future of the blind man, the deaf, and the lame is still reaching out in your hour of trouble. One touch and you're never the same. You'll be trying to catch the crippled man. Did he run past this way? He was rushing home to tell everyone what Jesus did today. And the mute man was telling myself and the deaf girl he's leaving to answer God's call. Well, it's hard to believe, but if you don't trust me, ask the blind man, he saw it all. Ask the blind man, he saw it all. He saw it all. So I'll tell you, I've struggled all day about what to do, what to sing. And Kevin, I think we're going to change up. Skip over the second one. Let's do the third one. And then we're going to do something a little different. But the song I'm going to sing, see, Todd told me I couldn't talk, but I'm going to talk just a little bit. Now, I'm just joking. He didn't, but he said I need to be short. So, and I've sung this song before, and the name of it is I Choose. And in today's world, I don't have to tell you that everything is crazy. I mean, what used to be good is now bad. What used to be bad is now good. I mean, they're trying to destroy our kids' minds just every way that they possibly can. And there's two ways you can go with this. You can think that that it's just all, and a lot of people want to put their trust in the government. Quite honestly, I don't hardly trust anybody in our government. I don't care what party they're affiliated with. I truthfully think now it's almost to the point where it's not Democrat and Republican. It's like good and evil, is how it seems to me. But I really believe that. So we were talking about it last night after church. There's a T-shirt out that says, "Normal is not coming back. Jesus is." And I really do believe Jesus is coming back, and I really don't think it's going to be long, and I think it's going to be a lot quicker than a whole lot of people think. Because you know, like I said, you've got two ways of thought. You can think that everything is just random, and that the whole world has just turned into a big fiasco all at once. Or you can believe what I believe, and I think God's got a plan, and God's working his plan. You know, and I've told our Sunday school class on numerous occasions, I'd feel a whole lot better sometimes if he'd just share a little bit of what he's got planned with me, because I'd feel a whole lot better. But up to this point, he really has not. I mean, I have read the back of the book. I know who wins. But anyway, so like I said, you can trust to put your faith in the government. You can trust to put your faith in your friends and your family, in whomever. But I can assure you at some point they're going to let you down. But, you know, if you put your faith in God and believe that what we've got going on is part of his plan, he's not going to let you down. Kevin, let's sing I Choose and see what happens, brother. Master, may I be so honest? Could I admit the way I feel? I'm hurting. It seems that you've forsaken. And I wonder, is your love for me still real? Will my friends think I am happy, unaffected by this trial? They can't see the pain I'm hiding underneath my smile. But Master, I can't live this way anymore. So today I make my choice. I choose to believe that you are faithful, and my heart is in your hands. And this mystery that I face today is part of your greater plan. I choose not to be discouraged when the sun will not break through. I have the choice of trusting you. And Lord, this is what I choose. I know this road will not be easy, and I know I'll have my weaker days, and Satan will tell me I don't mean it when I say I'll trust God all the way. But that really doesn't matter, 'cause I refuse to hear him out. And by faith I'll find your power that will overcome all doubt. And Lord, I've never felt so strong as when I'm resting in your arms. I choose to believe that you are faithful, and my heart is in your hands. And this mystery that I face today is part of a greater plan. I choose not to be discouraged when the sun will not break through. I have the choice of trusting you. And Lord, this is what I choose. I choose to believe that you are faithful, and my heart is in your hands. And this mystery that I face today is part of a greater plan. I choose not to be discouraged when the sun will not break through. I have the choice of trusting you. So Lord, this is what I choose. Lord, this is what I choose. I'm gonna trust you, Lord. I choose. I got one. So I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. I'm not going to sing another song. I want to tell you a story. Me and God have had a good time today. I'm hoping I'm going to get through this. So this story took place in a big Midwest town. It's about a little boy who was about 12 years old. Lost his mom and dad in an accident. Didn't have any brothers or sisters or any close relatives. He didn't want to live in an orphanage or a foster home. So he decided he'd try to make it on his own. Built a little make-do shelter out of some pallets and some cardboard in an alley and got him a job selling papers. You know, everything considered, he did okay for himself. He was quite a little man. One day he was outside selling his papers. It was cold and had started to rain. It was getting close to dark. And a nicely dressed gentleman walked up to him and he said, "Mister, would you like to buy a paper?" And he said, "No, son, I don't need a paper." The little boy said, "But mister, if you'd buy a paper, I could get something to eat." The man said, "Son, I don't need a paper, but I'll tell you what you do. If you walk down that street right over there, about half a block, on the right-hand side's a big white house. You walk up and knock on that door and just say John 3:16. They'll take care of you." Whew. So the man went on his way, and the little boy wasn't sure about what he'd heard, but what he was sure of is that he was cold and he was hungry. So he decided he'd give it a shot. And he walked down that street. He found that big old house, walked up, knocked on the door. Man came to the door and said, "Son, can I help you?" And he said, "Yes, sir, mister. John 3:16. Big smile came on the man's face. He said, "Son, come on in." He said, "Son, are you hungry?" He said, "Yes, sir, mister, I sure am." He said, "Come on." He took the little boy into a room, and there was a huge table spread with every kind of food you can imagine. He said, "Son, just sit down and help yourself." That little boy ate like he'd never eaten before. The man walked out of the room, and the little boy was thinking to himself. He said, "I don't know what that John 3:16 is, but I know one thing. It'll feed you when you're hungry." The man walked back into the room, and after the little boy had finished eating, he said, "Son, I'll tell you what, it's getting dark. It's nasty outside. I've drawn a bath for you. I've got some clean pajamas you can wear. I want you to spend the night here, and you can be on your way tomorrow." So the little boy went into the bathroom and climbed into that bathtub that was full of warm water and suds, started bathing himself, and it felt so good to his little cold, tired body. And as he was bathing, he said, "I don't know what that John 3:16 is, but it'll wash you when you're dirty." The little boy finished his bath and put his pajamas on. The man took him to the bedroom, and he said, "Son, you sleep here tonight." And he said, "We'll talk in the morning." The little boy hadn't slept in a bed in quite a while, and he laid down, and it felt so good to him. But he was just beside himself at his good fortune. He could hardly sleep. He just kept thinking, I don't know what that John 3:16 is, but I know one thing, it'll rest you when you're tired. So the next morning, after the sun came up, the man came into the bedroom and he said, "Son, did you sleep well?" He said, "Yes, sir, I sure did. But mister, I just got to know. Mister, what is this John 3:16 and why have you been so good to me?" And tears came in the man's eyes and he said, "Son," he said, "for God so loved this whole world that he sent his only son, that whoever believed in him would have everlasting life. And you know, if God loved me that much, anything that I can do for one of his children here on this earth is just a drop in the bucket to what he's done for me." He loves me. He loves me. Jesus loves me. He loves me. He loves me. Jesus loves me. He loves you too.